All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a question that, it seems super simple on the surface, but it actually hides some really fascinating economic truths. Is using Facebook actually free? I mean, think about it. You don't get a bill at the end of the month, right? There's no subscription fee. So it's got to be free. Simple as that. Or is it? That's the big question we're going to unpack today, and honestly, the answer might totally change how you look at your newsfeed. And look, this isn't just some random question we pulled out of thin air. Economists, they actually use this exact question to explain the most basic, fundamental ideas in their field. It's like the perfect case study for how economics works in our everyday digital lives. Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to totally reframe what it means to pay for something. We need to talk about your most valuable currency. And spoiler alert, it's not what's in your wallet. It all starts with this one big idea in economics: scarcity. It's this fundamental problem, right? We seem to have unlimited wants, but we live in a world with limited stuff, limited resources. And that basic fact forces us to make choices. So what's our most limited, most precious resource of all? Yup. It's time. I mean, you can always go out and make more money, but you can never, ever get back a minute that you've already spent. It is your most finite, non-renewable resource. And believe me, every single choice you make about how to spend it has an economic consequence. And that right there, that leads us straight to the real price of using something like Facebook. Because when you choose to spend your time doing one thing, you are at that exact same moment choosing not to do a million other things. Every single choice has a hidden price tag. The economist N. Gregory Mankiw, he summed it up perfectly. He said, "The cost of something is what you give up to get it." We call this opportunity cost, and it's a game changer. The true cost of anything isn't about dollars and cents. It's about the value of the next best thing you had to give up. So the real question becomes, what are you giving up? Okay, let's try to put a real number to this. 7. Just 7. What do you think that number means? 7. That is the average number of hours a college student in the US spends on Facebook per week. Think about that. That's almost a full workday gone every single week. All of a sudden, that free app starts to sound pretty expensive, doesn't it? So here it is, the trade-off in black and white. Those 7 hours you're scrolling on Facebook, well, those are hours that could have been spent cramming for an exam or earning some cash at a part-time job, learning a new language, reading a book, or, hey, even just getting more sleep. These aren't just ideas. They are the real, tangible opportunity costs of using the platform. Okay, so if you're not paying with your money, but you are paying with your time, then what's the deal? What's the business model here? The answer to this question basically pulls back the curtain on how a huge part of the modern internet actually works. Way back in 1971, this economist, Herbert Simon, he had this incredible insight. He predicted that in a world overflowing with information, the truly scarce resource wouldn't be information, it would be human attention. And that's exactly what Facebook and platforms like it are built on. They're all in a battle for your limited attention, because your attention is an incredibly valuable thing that they can then sell to advertisers. And it gets deeper. More recently, a scholar named Shoshana Zuboff argues this whole thing has evolved into something even bigger. She calls it surveillance capitalism. Her idea is that these companies don't just grab your attention. Oh no, they also capture mind-boggling amounts of data about everything you do, what you like, who you talk to, where you go. And this data, which you basically provide for free, it's like a form of digital labor, that becomes the raw material they use to build products that can predict and even influence what you do next. Whew. Okay. So, knowing all of that, how on earth do you decide if it's worth it for you? Personally. Look, this isn't about saying Facebook is good or evil. Not at all. It's about giving you the tools to run your own personal cost-benefit analysis. Just think of it like your own personal ledger. On one side, you've got the benefits, and they're real, right? Social connections, easy communication, news, entertainment. But on the other side, you've got the costs we've been talking about. Lost time, maybe some mental fatigue, and of course, those data and privacy trade-offs. It's a tricky balance. I mean, research shows that while these tools can build some connections, they also risk weakening those really important face-to-face ties. In the end, only you can decide how that sheet balances out. And that's the real kicker here. This isn't a decision you just make one time and you're done. Every single time you pop open that app, you're making a choice. You're implicitly saying that whatever benefit you think you're about to get is worth more than anything else you could be doing with that time. It's this constant, subconscious economic calculation happening over and over, which, brings us right back to the beginning. Right back to where we started, but now, hopefully, with a much clearer picture of the economics going on behind the scenes. So let's ask it one last time. Now that we've walked through scarcity, opportunity cost, and the whole attention economy, is Facebook really free? And the answer, I think, is pretty clear. Monetarily, yeah, sure, you don't pay a dime. But economically, no way. It's not free at all. You pay with your most valuable, non-renewable asset, your time and your attention. So the real takeaway here isn't a statement. It's a question for you to take with you. The next time you find yourself scrolling, just ask yourself, what am I giving up in return for this? The point isn't to make you quit, not at all. It's just to make sure you're making that choice with your eyes wide open. Thanks for letting us explain.